Back to Elim. When is this exactly? It's gotta be after, right? Grandfather? We sat eating dinner in silence, as some senseless variety program played on the TV behind us. It had already been a year since this silent old man had taken me in. I'd gotten used to the silent dinner table, but I still had no idea what my grandfather was thinking. And I couldn't pretend that it didn't make me a bit uneasy. Just a small change of heart, and he could send me off to live somewhere else. Still, I couldn't worry over him day in and day out. If he did decide to send me away, I'd just go live under a bridge somewhere. I wouldn't leave this town. Yep, we'll just live where the doggy lived, right? We'll just live there, and I'm pretty sure Hikari would come and bring me food as well. That's what I told myself, at least. Grandpa spoke? What the fuck? My grandfather hardly ever said anything except pass the soy sauce, or this tastes awful. So he really took me by surprise. Yeah, I braced myself. What would he do if he lost the house? What would happen to me? I want to stay here. I answered so vigorously that I think I surprised him a little. The look on his face told me that he hadn't expected I'd want to stick around a place like this. And that was it. End of conversation. All was silent again, but I couldn't handle it this time. Please, let me stay here. Here, at your house. He gave me a surprised look, the wrinkles creasing around his eyes. Please. Yes. Thank you, Grandpa. He seemed a little troubled as he responded, and looked a little cross as he continued eating. Knowing that I'd be able to stay here really took a load off of me, though. We had this conversation on the second day of 6th grade winter break. It was the next day. I went to Sao Tome like always. I was buying some snacks with a little allowance my grandfather gave me.
おばちゃん、パックリマンチョコちょうだい。はいよ、84円。たっけえな。
84 yen, dude, that's barely
文句
anything.
言うなら食べなくていいんだよ。カードが目的だもんね。チョコは食べなくていいんだよ。
The card?
へりくつこねて悪ガキめ。もったいないから残さず食べるんだよ。
Getting the change back for his 100 yen coin, Takeichi's tore open the crunchy chocolate bar.
チェ、また悪魔かよ。この店外れしか置いてねえんじゃねえの。
What, are they like trading cards with the chocolate bar? Takeichi stood there complaining out loud to himself about how he never got the card he was after. I got an angel. That's all it took to get his attention.
何何？
I got it. You want it? You ain't getting it. Fallen angel Michael.
ペットじゃん。
Or Mikael, right? I'll trade with you if you want.
いいのか？
Sure, I got 7 of them anyway. As long as you give me the chocolate too.
お、いいぜ。
I took the card out of my pocket and handed it over to him. And in return, I got his card and his chocolate. Seems like a pretty good deal, I'd
こ
say.
れずっと狙ってたんだ。サンキュー、ソラミ。
Yeah, no problem. I stood there eating my newly acquired chocolate as he devoured his new card with his eyes. He seemed even happier than I thought he'd be. I wasn't here to hang out with him or anything. We just happened to bump into each other. Our town didn't have any convenience stores or anything, so Sao Tome was the only place that the kids really gathered around. You always had a good chance of bumping into someone. When I had first arrived, he used to pester me a lot, but after he had seen me swim through the icy winter river, he pretty much left me alone. Cause he realized at that point, right? That was, in his eyes, probably like the kind of worst thing he could do to me, and I did it. That I showed him that he can't fucking mess with me, boy. By our 6th year, he had started to let off a bit at school, and the class grew a little more relaxed. He's turning into less of a bad boy now? What? Is this around the time where we actually start, you know, getting friends with each other?
別に何でもねえよ。
Huh? Do you regret all the time you spent bullying me now, huh? Why do you keep looking over here then? He was looking at me like I was his school crush. Weird. Maybe that's it out. Maybe he actually liked me, huh?
よ、空見。
What? What do you
う
want?
っせえな。今何話すか考えてんだから。
He should have figured out that before talking then. I was a little annoyed, but I didn't really have anything else to do, so I just sat there snacking away and waiting.
よ、空見。
Is he gonna apologize? What?
悪かったよ。
He's sorry? He actually apologized? Hmm? I had no idea what he was apologizing for all of a sudden. I tried to think of what it might be, but he hadn't done anything to me in a while
天体
now.
望遠鏡。隠したことあったろ。お前が転校してきたばっかの頃。
What Oh, for the Alberio thing. It had only been over a year since then, and it felt almost nostalgic when I remembered it. I mean, at the time, I was really pissed off. So much so that I wanted to punch him. Why apologize out of nowhere?
そうだよ。望遠鏡、大事なものだったんだろ。お前の親から買ってもらったって。
For my dad, yeah. I could tell he wasn't used to apologizing from the way he mumbled through it. But at least I finally knew what he was trying to say. How did you know that? Didn't Saya say that?
光が言ってたからだよ。
Oh, Hikari. That explained things. Now that I think of it, Saya knew about it too. Oh yeah, damn. Saya really like just the usual quiet and soft-spoken Saya just turned fucking Super Saiyan then. She shouted so loud.
その天体望遠鏡は空見くんの大切な
Aww.
お父さんのだからひどいことしないで
And then she slapped them all. I hadn't really been able to think straight at the time. He apologized quickly and bowed. The fact that he apologized for something he did a year ago, right? Means that he did have a conscience indeed. And it probably bothered him to some extent. At least not, especially now that I sort of am just acting kinda nice to him, right? To be honest, I'd pretty much completely forgotten about it. So the apology just felt a little weird. How long have you been holding that in?
別にそんなんじゃ
He'd been holding that in for an entire year. It looked like it had been bothering him for a while. If I wanted to get payback, this would be where I refused his apology and dragged things out. And while that might have been fun, I heard that it wasn't even you anyway. It was just your lackeys, right? The two of them had come and apologized afterwards. It seems they were the real culprits.
でも俺がやらせたようなもんだし俺が悪いんだ
He commanded them. He was pretty insistent. I guess he wanted to try and look out for the minions under him. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
でもよ
Fine. Buy me something here. Then we'll be even.
おおいいぜ114円までならな
That's almost nothing. Another one of those chocolates maybe then? Apparently, he didn't have much allowance left to spend. I reached into my pocket and pulled out some spare change. Alright, looks like we have just enough. Let's pull our money and buy a steamed meat bun. Then we can split it.
お任しとけ
Why does he get some? He took the money and went off to make his purchase.
おばちゃん豚まん1個
This is like a delicacy for us, right? We rarely ever get to eat these meat buns.
はいよ豚まんからしはつけるどうする
Yeah.
はいよ
Takichi took the steaming hot bun, split it in half, and gave me the larger piece. Thanks.
お
I spread a dollop of mustard on mine before taking a bite. It had been a while since I had one of Sao Tome's pork buns. Are you collecting crunchy cards?
おまあな あとちょっとでコンプリートだぜ。
Ah, that's why you needed the angel?
見せてやろうか。
Nah, I'm not really into that stuff.
そうか。
Aw, dude, he was trying to bond with us! Ah, shit, dude! We should have said yes, even if we weren't interested, right? This would be like the perfect turnaround. From bully, I mean, we know that in the future we actually do become friends, right? But from bully into him now wanting to share something with us and kinda becoming friendly with us. I actually have some more cards at home though. You want them?
本当か?
Yeah, I don't need them anyway. Meet me here tomorrow and they're yours.
おお、待ってる。お前って結構いいやつだな。今度うち来いよ。妹がうるさいけどゲームとかあるぜ。
Your sister's annoying? Sure. My grandfather didn't have any video games in his house, and I didn't get enough allowance to afford my own. A train came in, screeching to a halt. Damn, he invited us over to his house. It stopped at the station, then headed off again. A few moments later, the people who got off made their way through the ticket gates.
ミナコだ。
Minako? A girl in her school uniform with a huge sports bag on her back came walking out of the station. The handle of a tennis racket was sticking out of her bag. Who?
光の姉ちゃん。
Hikari's sister?
ようミナコ、今日テニスの試合だったんだろ。気安く話しかけるんじゃないよ、クソガキ。負けたんだろ。イエーイイエーイ。打つぞ。
Smack him, smack him. She was staring at Takeichi with her hand on the handle of the racket. Yikes, uh-oh. Not only a smack with her hand, but with her holding the tennis racket too?
そこのあんた、もしかしてアキト?
Yes. This was the first time the two of us had ever met, but maybe she'd heard about me at home? She strolled over to me, sizing me up.
あんたらコンクールで優勝してダム建設反対を市長に訴えるとか言ってんだって?
Yeah. That was our plan. As soon as she began talking down to me, agitation crept into my voice.
バッカね。んなことできるわけないじゃん。
It's about the idea, okay? You never know until you
わ
try.
かるって。無理無理。
Sure, if you're an adult, then you realize and understand that that's not gonna do shit, obviously. But as a child, you have that childlike hope and wonder and, you know? And feel like you can do anything.
それにもしできたとしても無駄だよ。
What do you mean?
ダムの建設が中止されたって鉄道がなくなるのは止められないってこと。
Huh?
関係ないからダム。
I had no idea what she was talking about, and just stood there staring.
鉄道がなくなるのはダムの建設とは無関係なの。
What? But...
だって線路が走ってる場所は水没地域に入ってないんだもん。光から聞いてないの？
She didn't tell me anything. She never mentioned anything about it. This was the first I was hearing of it. But then I recalled how Hikari had been acting the other day. I'm just sick of watching the stars. I don't really even care anymore.
夏休みにコンクールで落選した時に教えてやったんだけど。
What? That long ago? Did that also cause us to sort of fight and like rip apart you know, the homework assignment or whatever we made, right? The observation list.
なんでこんな村に残りたいかね。私は来年から憧れの甘子を通えて超ラッキーって思ってんのにさ。だからもう余計なことしないでね。わかった？
What do you mean messing around? She looked down at me as if she was trying to drill her words into me, and I turned my head away in silence to escape her stare.
バス来た。
You're gonna miss it. She caught a glimpse of the bus pulling in to the stop and ran off to catch it. What was going on? Was she just pretending she didn't care anymore because she knew that stopping the dam wouldn't save the train line? But wait, that was just the other day. According to her sister, she'd known about this since the end of summer break. She's known for at least the last 3 months or
おい、
so.
空見。大丈夫か？気にすんな、ミナコの言うことなんか。あいつ最近色気づいておしゃれうっさいんだ。
Hey, I just remembered something I gotta do. I took a shaky few steps and then broke off into a run. Sorry, dude.
よって何?
Hikari talked to me. Hikari sounded aggravated that I had called her out here. This was the first time we'd seen each other since the closing ceremony for second semester.
もうすぐ夕飯だから早くして。
Why didn't you tell me?
何のこと?
Don't play dumb. You knew that stopping the dam wasn't going to save the train line. I could see the expression on her face change, illuminated by the sunset. That's when I knew it was true. It was just like her sister had said. She knew, but she just hadn't told me. I went home afterwards to ask my grandfather about it, whether the train line and the dam were related. He told me that it was a lack of passengers, mostly due to depopulation, that closed down the train line. For the past few years, there had been talks about whether to keep it running or not, but everyone had expected it would shut down at some point. What sped the process up wasn't the dam, but the fact that a chunk of the rails had been wiped out in a landslide. Rather than trying to fix it, they just cut the line short and kept it running. The dam was actually being built to try and stop future landslides. In hindsight, instead of fighting to save the train, we had been basically fighting for the exact opposite. Hikari just stood there, staring at the ground, so I shoved a journal in front of her. The planetary observation journal that me, Hikari, and Saya had written up. Oh, shit, so we hadn't even ripped it apart yet, although that's probably gonna happen now. Basically, every single moment of enjoyment I'd had since moving to this town was right in this notebook. What did we even continue filling this out for? We lost the contest last summer, but worked our butts off and told ourselves we'd make it for winter, didn't we? I was serious about it all, you know? About stopping the dam. All so you could stay here. I couldn't stop my voice from trembling. And, you know, you knew, all along. It was all for nothing. But still, you didn't say anything. Can you tell me why we even bothered? She grabbed at the hem of her shirt as she spoke through trembling lips. Yeah, I feel so too. Like, she probably didn't tell us because if she told us, then it would put a damper on just like every time we'd meet and every time we'd hung out. Right? It would just always be at the back of our minds. So why not just enjoy the fun times that we had, I guess? Because in Hikari's mind it's like, okay, it's impossible. I'm gonna have to leave at some point anyway. I mean, we had fun too, right? We didn't only do it to get Hikari to stay here. Sure, that was the primary goal, but we had a lot of fun in the process. Her eyes pleaded, believe me, as they stared my way. And I wanted to. I wanted to believe those honest eyes of hers. But you're sick of it now, though. I guess. You said that, at least. We finished filling up your journal. So now you couldn't care less, right? What did we even do it for in the first place? Lost in my own anger, I raised the notebook up above my head. This worthless piece of crap! She desperately reached out for my arm. Cut it out! Let go! Why? You've been lying to us this whole time anyway! I was ready to just throw the journal down on the ground, but she apparently thought I was going to throw it into the river. And she was desperate to stop me. Let go of me, you idiot! Baka! Let go! Oh my god, the screeching. We ripped it! No! That's when it happened. No! As we fought and pulled the journal, it split apart right in two. just like our friendship had. That's when I realized I had done something I could never undo. It hit me so hard, I was ready to just climb up on top of the bridge right now and jump straight up, dude. It's not worth killing yourself over. The fuck, dark thoughts. But I was just so angry at Hikari that I couldn't keep my cool. I just stormed off, leaving her behind instead. Wow. So that's how it happened? Damn. I could hear the sound of the train, accompanied with faint vibrations. It was a sound I'd grown familiar with, and it brought back memories. Construction of the dam had started after we graduated, and right after Hikari moved away. And right around that same time, the train line that Hikari's dad worked for switched over to buses instead. The whole line wasn't shut down though. The one section that was left had become a part of a different train line instead. It would have been better if they'd just gotten rid of everything. But because they hadn't, every now and then, I was assailed with a crushing wave of nostalgia. Still, if the whole thing closed down, then Sao Tome would probably be done too. I mean, that's where majority of our customers come, right? Now, the trains ran 2 stops from Mikasuki Station. Thanks to that, Sao Tome managed to stay in business as a convenience store. I kept staring at my chat log with Komako. I felt like we had just been talking mostly nonsense. But looking back, we'd spent just about as much time talking about the stars. We had met on an astronomy forum, so I guess that was no big surprise. As the astronomer who never looks at the stars, I usually tried to avoid astronomy as much as I could. Whenever I did want to talk astronomy though, it was always with Komako. She would change the conversation to suit me by asking about things I already knew, like which stars I liked and why I liked them in the first place. But she'd already known the answer since it had been Hikari all along. There was something I did realize after scrolling through our chats from start to end, and that was... she'd never actually grown tired of astronomy at all. She was just having as much fun as I was chatting about the stars. And whenever there was any sort of celestial happening, she would always get in touch with me. She never spoke as someone who had endless knowledge in the field, either, but just as someone with first-hand experience. Even after all that had happened, she never stopped watching the skies. I don't think I'll ever know what's going on in that head of hers. Kotaro seemed agitated by something outside.
Konbanwa.
Saya-chan! Hey, what are you doing out at this time? This late? Saya came into the store with a tote bag over her shoulder.
差し入れだよ.
A surprise? It's not even my birthday. She held out the bag for me. This smell. Is the commuter wife at it again? Is this curry?
Namaste.
Yo! She said it in a way that sounded like bingo. But she was just saying hello.
1食分ずつタッパーに小分けしてあるから、レンジでチンして食べてね.
You're the best, Saya. Thanks, Saya. Thank you so much. I had been so busy with the 6 Stars Club that I hadn't been getting as many hours at work. This was the kind of support I needed. She's the best waifu. I don't know if it was because he wanted Saya to notice him, or if he just couldn't resist the smell of curry, but Kotaro was making a fuss outside. Yeah, I was wondering, like, why is Kotaro... It sounded like he was agitated, right? But it was Saya. Wouldn't Kotaro then be happy? But I guess it's because of the curry. He's like, give me some of that curry too! I checked my watch. It was 9:30 at night. Alright. It's still early, but you wanna go for a walk? Hey, Miss Miharu! I called out through the door that connected to the house, and after a moment or two, Miharu came out.
Nani?
I'm gonna go walk Saya home and take Kotaro for a walk while I'm out.
待ってて.
Miharu disappeared inside again. she came out again in another moment. She was carrying a portable game system. What the fuck? When did you get one of those? Where did you get the money from? I didn't think she had the money for one of those. She bought the newest Switch. Borrowed? I see. Doesn't that make you a bit ashamed, borrowing it from your ex-student, former student? A grown-up borrowing video games from a former student, yeah. The manager will probably be pretty pissed if she catches you playing video games on the clock. What then? Are you playing a dating game too? I don't really think that's the problem here. Well, I warned you. She's not even listening. The boss did tell me I could use my phone or do my homework if business was slow, so it was probably fine. Alright, shall we?
Sensei, sayonara.
She said, putting her hands to her collar. Yeah, we're already halfway through December. Oh, he needs it. He needs it for the cold, strong winter coming up. Kotaro seemed extra pleased that Saya was holding his leash. The three of us walked in silence, not because it was uncomfortable or anything, but just because we had nothing to talk about. We're just, you know, we've known each other for so long. We're very good friends, right? It's just a comfortable silence that you develop sometimes when you're good friends. You don't need to speak words to each other to feel and enjoy the other person's presence and just being with them, right? That's how I feel about Saya. That's why you're probably gonna be my first route. I'm not entirely sure yet. I know a lot of people wanted Saya to be the first route, and I'm kind of hesitating between Saya or Hikari, mainly because I feel like those two routes are they're probably going to be closely connected to the main story or the common route, right? Considering throughout the common route, a big theme is the fact that, well, the whole childhood and everything that's happened in our life, right? Our whole friendship dynamic between the three of us, and yeah, so I feel like either doing one of those two routes first will probably be where my preference lies at the moment. But we'll figure out which one of the two it will be. Did I read this one already? Doesn't matter, we'll read it again. Most of the Six Stars Club members probably had the wrong idea after they'd heard we'd known each other since childhood. But to be honest, we hadn't been close the whole time since back then. Really? I thought that Saya and us kind of like just always have been friends. I mean, with Hikari it was different, right? She left, so obviously we weren't kind of friends the whole time. But I felt like there wasn't any indication, at least in the story, in the parts of the story that we've seen so far, that Saya and us weren't so close at a certain point in time. But there's like a whole section still that's kind of left uncharted, I guess, unexplored. And that's the now part, or the middle part, right? I don't know exactly what it's called. Maybe it's actually just called middle. But if you see like the chart at the bottom, you know what I mean, right? We usually go back and forth between elementary and the current time, but never the one in between. But that'll probably come at some point later on. Maybe that's when we actually had a falling out or something? Or at least weren't that close. We kind of gone our separate ways for a while. After my fight with Hikari, where I had ripped up our notebook, I had started hanging out with Takeichi instead. But Saya had always hung around with Hikari, so she just kept doing so afterwards. And the two of us just sort of split apart too. Ah! I mean, that's kind of, yeah, if you, in your friend group, right, and you're fighting with someone, it becomes kind of awkward for the other people, because like, even though you don't want to, you kind of become forced to choose a person, right? You kind of become forced to choose a side, as much as it sucks. And I guess because I just naturally became closer and actually became probably friends with Takeichi back then, right? Surprisingly, for the guy that bullied us for the first year at school. But yeah, Saya just stayed close with Hikari, which kind of makes sense. I'm sure it was the sort of thing that could happen to anyone as a kid. Anyway, we carried on straight through graduation that way, and Hikari moved away. Then we moved on to middle school, and I started hanging out with the guys. Saya stayed with the girls. Oh! Could that be it? That's probably what the abbreviation middle is in that spectrum, right at the bottom right. Middle school. So you got elementary school, middle school, and then I guess now, which is high school, sort of? No, it's not high school. I don't know what the fuck it is. But yeah, the current time. Okay. And at that point, our old friendship just ended up making things even more awkward. We would usually just avoid making eye contact in the halls and sort of ignore each other. We did this for years. Oh shit, for years? We only became friends again after a big change in my life. When my grandfather passed away, I always put on a happy face, even when I was really torn up inside. But Saya had seen through it and came to talk to me. Aww! Saya actually approached us. I had already been accepted into Hoshino Daiichi, and Saya into Seisen Girls' School, but we continued meeting up to talk and hang out. That's actually a good point. I never actually realized that. I guess that... I mean, apparently Seisen Girls' School is a bit of a better school for... At least for girls, right? But maybe it might be a better school in general than Hoshino Daiichi as well. But if Saya and us had remained close, as close in elementary and up until now, right? It wouldn't be too strange that they would end up at the same school. But the fact that they aren't, yeah, actually makes more sense that they kind of weren't that close then during those years. It's just, yeah, I never even thought about that. Huh, okay. So along with her always bringing me stuff like this, I really owed her a lot. The commuter wife. She made a bit of an awkward face when our eyes met. I stopped walking and turned to face her. I want to talk to you about something. Don't worry, it's not something serious, I think. I looked straight into her multicolored eyes. I'm really sorry. I feel like Saya may have had an entirely different idea as to what I wanted to talk to her about. I threw myself into a deep bow in front of her. About her journal. The notebook. Saya had taped our planetary observation journal back together and turned it in to Miss Saotome. When we found out, Hikari and I apologized to her, but it didn't feel like it was enough. We all worked so hard on it, and I just thinking about how much pain I had inflicted on her was enough to kill me. I know saying sorry isn't enough, so if there's anything I can do, just tell me. I'd do anything. I get down on my knees, I take a slap to the face, I take whatever she dished out. But I knew she wasn't the type of person to do such a thing. And so... She looked down at me, still bowing, with a troubled look on her face. It's not fine. Come on. Don't hold back. Let out the anger. You can slap me if you want, if that's how you truly feel. What did she mean by now? I guess back then it kind of upset her, right? Sure, anything. Aww, don't ever stop watching the stars. Saya. Speaking of, I had talked with her before about how getting the 6 Stars Club up and going would be the best way to leave the club, and the best way for me to cut off my ties with Hikari. That was one of the only times I'd ever seen her get mad at me. Is that all you want from me? She nodded. Okay, I will keep looking up. Hikari is gonna leave, you know? I felt like I understood what she was getting at, but at the same time, had no idea. She wasn't trying to get me to be friends with Hikari again, or even stop me from leaving the 6 Stars Club. She just wanted me to keep my eyes on the stars? I guess because it was always sort of tied in with being friends with Hikari and doing watching stars together with Hikari, right? At least in our childhood. But she knows that we have a passion for stars, or just we like looking up at the stars, right? For our astronomy. And she doesn't want us to give up on it just because it's sort of tied in with sad feelings of lost friendship with Hikari. Right? It would be just kind of one of those sad things that you have to give up something that you actually truly like and love just because you have sort of bad memories, or it would remind you of a person that you would then miss, or, you know? I guess that's what she's trying to get at, something like that. At the sight of my troubled face, she turned her eyes away. Not true. I'm always secretly peeking up at the sky. Well, damn, she saw right through me. She'd figured it out. The closer I got to the stars, the more bitter and cruel they seemed. But even then, I still couldn't help taking to the trails. And when I got up there, I reached my hands out for those jewels I know I'd never reach. I'd think about the endless expanse of space between me and the stars, and I'd feel this immense sense of loneliness. I just don't get it. Why is that enough? What did she get from me looking at the stars anyway? Oh god, she's getting emotional. Saya, hey! Tears were building in her eyes as if something terribly sad had just happened to her. Aww. That must have been like a big, just sort of life-changing experience for her, right? When we actually made her look at the Alberio. I feel like that might have like changed her entire perspective of how people look at her eyes and how she herself looks at her eyes, especially that part, I feel, right? Before she was like kind of ashamed of her eyes. I mean, she fucking wears sunglasses to school the first day in class, right? It just shows how kind of embarrassed or sad she was about and scared about how people would react to her eyes. But I think ever since we showed her Alberio, it has changed her mind about her eyes. Saya-chan, don't cry. Unable to hold it back any longer, her tears started flowing. We gotta comfort her, dude. Kotaro looked worried and began whimpering at the tearful Saya. Saya. I touched her head, smoothing out her hair. And she looked up at me a little. I found it. The winter Alberio. Our first stars. They look extra beautiful tonight. Is he gonna say the smooth thing that I hope he's gonna say, right? Yep, we're looking at it right now, right? These are the winter Alberio. I hope he's gonna say that. Her teary blue and orange eyes shone under the streetlight, as bright as stars. Smooth. She turned her head away as she began to blush. Let me look a little longer. I placed my hand on her cheeks to stop her. Damn, dude. It kinda seems like he's making a move on her, right? She said, smiling, but still embarrassed and crying. Her mouth was squished between my hands, puckered like a silly octopus. Hikari and I were like variable stars, who never maintained our brightness. But Saya, she was always like a clear, beautiful, bright, shining star. just like the winter alberio that shines brightly in the winter sky. I promise you, I'll never stop loving the stars. I'll never forget the first time I laid my eyes on the winter alberio. Even I could promise something like that. I had tried, for 4 years now, to forget about it, but I had never even come close. It's a promise. She relaxed and smiled through her still puckered lips. I couldn't help but smile back too. And with that, the two of us started walking again, faces beaming as if nothing had happened at all. I'm sure the only reason we could talk about this stuff is because we'd known each other for so long. Are those tears of joy then? You should wipe your face. I brushed her tears away with my hand. It looked like it tickled, but she didn't stop me. I still don't get it though. Why Hikari would say something like that? She tilted her head to the side, looking perplexed. Back when she told me she was sick of stargazing, she had never actually grown tired of it, right? I guess there's no point in thinking about it though. I'm sure it was just her saying something on a whim like always. What kind of reasons? Her reasons, huh? If that's the case, I'll have to try and squeeze it out of her before she leaves the country. Or maybe if I read over that letter, I'll find something. But she told me not to read it until she said so. We should read the letter, dude. I mean, it's been multiple years since she wrote it, right? Like, wow, what? I don't think whatever she wrote in there can be that bad. Unless it's like something along the lines of, I killed someone and I buried the body here. Don't tell the police. And with that, the two of us continued walking Kotaro in silence. A bright, beautiful morning. Wait, what? What is Hikari? What is Hikari doing here? Hikari took out a cardboard box from a train and placed it on the platform. Ah, I guess we're sort of cleaning up inside, right? Because people will be coming over here, and we don't want our own personal memorial stuff from our childhood and our past to be in here. So we're just cleaning it out. It was filled with books, broken toys, strangely shaped stones, acorns, sticks, and an assortment of other junk. What the fuck? Like, books, broken toys? Okay, I can kind of understand that. Strangely shaped stones, maybe? Acorns? Sticks? What the fuck? You're not a squirrel. All of the junk was stuff the three of us had brought here. Most of it was just random stuff that Hikari would find and say, wow, treasure, though. Honoka-chan. Is it me or she got like a booty back there? I never noticed that. Yeah, it's all just stuff I left behind anyway. Today, all available 6 Stars Club members had gathered to help clean up our secret observatory. We were getting rid of a lot of stuff, along with sweeping, wiping, and making the place nice and clean. Once that was done, we were going to bring in blankets and cushions, paper cups, plastic dinnerware, and other tableware. We were doing everything we could to make it comfortable and cozy. It was all in preparation for our big event. Noriko had been trying to wipe the windows clear with a dust cloth. As long as the dirt doesn't come off on your hands, a little cloudiness in the window should be fine. I mean, this place is so old, we can't get it like, you know, sparkling clean as if it's brand new. Everything else had been cleaned up. The seats were fabric though, so one quick wipe down wasn't going to be enough to get them clean. We'd probably just cover them with some sheets before we used them. Originally, we were going to use a tent instead, so this place was really coming along, even if it was a little rough. On the other side of the window, Noriko was cleaning. Hikari and the others were still playing around with the junk. I gotta say, like, the idea of doing it at this place is very cool, you know, the location, and by which I mean the fact that it's a great place for us to look at the stars, right? The fact that there's an abandoned train here, kind of just, it all sort of works together nicely, right? My whole worry though is just the fact that the travel to get here is really, really annoying, to say the least, right? We have to go through so much to even get here in the first place. But I feel like once we're here, once people are here, I think people will be very, very happy and just like amazed and like, wow. Not only is this place amazing, but then just the whole event, right? Together, this place plus viewing the stars through our own home-built telescope. I think it'll be an amazing night, but yeah. The hardest part will probably just be convincing people to like, hey, would you come up with us into the mountain, walking through the forest and all that shit to look up at the stars? I feel like it's kind of a very, very elaborate, different way of a pedo that's just like in his van, like, hey kid, want some candy? I got chocolate in my van.
なんだっけ、この気持ち悪いワカメみたいなのは。カツラだよそれ。
A wig that looks like seaweed?
カツラ？ああ、うちのお姉ちゃんのウィッグか。
Why did your sister wear a wig? Is she bald?
夜中ここに泊まった時、私がお化けの格好をしてサヤを泣かせたやつだ。
Hey, that was mean, Hikari.
思い出したら具合が悪くなってきちゃった。
Aww.
あの時のサヤ、本気でビビってたよね。おしっこ漏らしたんだっけ？漏らしてない！
I hope not. How long are they gonna keep goofing around? It's gonna get dark soon. I'd hoped to get all the cleaning finished today. Noriko watched Hikari goofing around with a strange sort of intensity. She's not like that at school? What? She'd always been like that. Maybe it's just around us because she, you know, she knows us. She feels comfortable around us. We're old friends. But maybe at the new school she's just very distant with people? I don't know. Always cheerful and excited with nothing to hide. She was the very definition of happy-go-lucky. But Noriko seemed pretty surprised by my reaction. What's she like at your school? Really? Wow. That's really surprising. We don't know Hikari like that at all. Wait, are we talking about the same person? Impossible.
委員会で一緒だったことがあるんですけど、話し塚で誰かが話しかけてもこう当たり障りなく返す感じでした。おしゃれしてて可愛いし、スタイルいいし、ちょっとクールでかっこいい子だなって思ってたんです。あれは猫をかぶってたんでしょうか。
Hikari? Cool? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The Hikari I knew was the kind of person who purposely ignored the mood and did things her own way. What was she pulling at her new school? Anyone from Mikasuki Village would have assumed that she was up to something. But then again, I hadn't heard from her after she moved. Even after we met again. She just seemed like she always did. I never noticed anything different. Yeah, I think it's probably that. When she moved away, she probably kind of changed as a person, right? New environment, less comfortable, so it took a time for her to get used to. She was very timid, and maybe she just kind of stayed that way as a person. But then you have that too, right? Even like if you meet someone that you're like really good friends with like 5-10 years or something like that ago, right? And you've changed a lot over that time. If you just meet up with those old friends again, you revert to your old self, how you were back then with those people. It's actually pretty strange, but it does happen. Noriko said nonchalantly and went back to cleaning.
あ、この漫画覚えてる？なんだっけ？私が拾ってきたやつだけど、エッチなページがあったんだよ。
Where?
それ見てアキトが。
Hey, I didn't. What?
そうだ。アキトくんが時々こっそり一人で見てたやつだ。
I didn't know such thing. What? Why is Saya so excited about that?
そうそう。アキトってむっつりだよね。
Hey, come on.
光もそう思う？
You both think that?
思う。あいつさ。
Hey now, stop goofing off.
アキト、ほらこれ。
Saya, could you not give me that look while holding a comic like
で
this?
もこれ、今見たら大したことないね。
It probably was when we were crazy, right? When we were little, I mean. Hikari opened it up to the sexy page.
こないだの温泉の時の方がよっぽど過激だったね。
Probably, yeah, it definitely was actually. Considering we pretty much showed all of our, you know, private areas. Hey, stop blushing just at the memory of it. Just like I thought, there was no way Hikari could ever be cool and quiet. Maybe Noriko just doesn't know because she's in a different grade. Anyway, back to work. We need to finish up today.
はーい。行こうさや。
Come on, ladies, chop chop. And so our work on the Dobsonian and preparations for the event came together steadily. Once we had the date set for Christmas Eve, everyone was really able to focus and get things done. Then one day, towards the end of the semester, as we were finishing up our work, what happened?
これがそうなのですか？おお。
Wow, what are we so like amazed by? Wow! All of us gasped at the large, circular, securely wrapped package resting before us. Here it goes, and oh, did we get it back? Did we get like the reflective mirror back from Old Man Champ? There it is. I pulled away the packing material to reveal the newly coated primary mirror. The Ancient One's evil eye, previously a big piece of junk, had come back reborn and perfectly smooth.
ついにドブソニアンの最後のパーツが揃ったのですわね。
It is complete! It's like drawing the final card of the Exodia combination.
これを組み立てるだけで完成ということでしょうか。だよね。
That should be it, yeah. Keisuke from Moro Misawa was in charge of construction, so I couldn't really say for sure, but I was pretty confident.
じゃあもうすぐ望遠鏡ができちゃうってこと？
Yep, you got it.
やったー！
やったー！
ついに私たちだけの天体望遠鏡が。
We did it. We completed it. We did the impossible.
そうだ。ブログに掲載できるよう開封の儀を写真に撮っておかないと。
Exactly. Where's Narue? Where's Narue? Take a picture, girl.
はいはい。私撮るよ。
Oh, Narue's not here? Alright. Hikari is gonna take over the picture-taking duty. Narue wasn't here with us today, so Hikari took pictures with her phone instead. The coating on the lens really was something else. Looking at our reflection on the perfectly smooth surface, we wouldn't have believed that we had made it ourselves.
星の光を集めるんだ。こんな大きな鏡ならきっと小さな星の光も余さず集めてくれますわ。
Let's talk with Keisuke as soon about when we can finally put this thing together. It was final exam season, but we really needed to get this thing done.
ええ、よろしくお願いします。楽しみだね。うん、早く観測会したいね。
With that, we finally had the last piece to our plans. Woohoo! Are we assembling in that? Oh no, we're moving. Aww. Wow, it really does have rings. They go all the way around the planet too. Cool. Are we looking at Saturn? I'm almost positive it's Saturn that has the rings, right?
どれ？私も見たい。
Aww. Look at Saya. Saya's taking the notes. Relax, jeez. Here.
輪っかついてるね。かっこいい。あの黒い線がカシーニ空撃かな。
The what now?
ねえ、私も見たい。
Shut up and take notes. I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking, I swear. Of course you can take a look. It's not like she's our secretary. Don't hog. Don't hog the telescope. The planet has ears. That's what Galilei said when he first looked at Saturn. Oh yeah, nailed it. He constructed his very own 30 times magnification telescope. It was the first person to look so far out into the night sky. And then, only half a century later, Huygens? I'm pretty sure it's a Dutch last name. Cause, yeah, but I'm not gonna pronounce it in Dutch because it's gonna sound fucking weird. Huygens. We'll say it in English. Probably Huygens. Discovered that those ears were actually a ring. He is said to be one of the inventors of the aerial telescope. Next, Cassini discovered that the ring actually had spaces in between. When observing this Cassini division, he used a gigantic 64-meter long aerial telescope. And now we were looking at those very same rings. With this tiny telescope.
あの輪って小さな塵や氷が集まって土星の周りを回ってるんだよね。
Dust and ice? Really? Wow.
輪の一番外にある隙間がカシーニ空撃なんだって。すごいね、望遠鏡って。すごいね。
Yeah. Telescope, when you just think about it, right? That just like this sort of, no matter, I mean, there are huge telescopes out there too, right? But just that, like, in comparison to the distance, that such a tiny, I guess, machine or just object is able to bring something that's so incredibly far away from us that it can kind of bring it, like, so very, very close. That's actually, that blows my mind. I know a lot of things about space blows my mind, and this is one of those things as well. Or just space related, astronomy related. Now we can see, with our very own eyes, stars that sit across the vastness of space. And we can see them so clearly too. It's almost like magic. I wonder what it would look like with an even larger telescope.
違うよ。一番すごいのはハッブル宇宙望遠鏡だよ。だって宇宙にあるんだもん。
The Hubble. Here we were, looking out at stars that Galileo could only have dreamt of seeing, and it still wasn't enough for us. But he must have felt the same way. Him, Huygens, Cassini, and every other astronomer. I was sure that they all wished they could look out even farther and see it all even closer. If only there was a telescope that could bring the stars to our very hands. If only. But first, the unavoidable enemy of every student. Final exams. Oh, I thought rain. Cause it's looking pretty grim and gloomy right now, the weather. Holy crap. One of these were out of the way, or once these were out of the way though, we would have a nice long winter break to look forward to. The members of the Six Stars Club were focused on their exams, while eagerly anticipating our stargazing event. The only thing we had left to do was tackle our tests, and maybe do a little sundance for good luck or something. Yeah, we definitely need a sundance. I mean, it's not even that, right? Even if it looks this gloomy, even if it kind of rains, it wouldn't be that bad. But like, clouds. Clouds are the biggest enemies of stargazers, right? Yeah, it should. I don't know. I can call Zeus, he's my buddy. Okay, Orihime. Let's all pray.
試験勉強ちゃんとした？心置きなく星を楽しむためにはテストの結果も大事だよ。こんな場所でまでお母さんみたいなこと言わないで。
It's true though, if we could get a storm to clear things out, we'd be all set. I drew a little Teru sunshine amulet on the margins of my answer sheet. I wondered if it would be able to help us hold off the rain. Teru Bozo, right? I remember that from Dragon Maid. The date for our stargazing event was Christmas Eve. The day after our tests, and the last day of the semester. When was the last time I'd ever been so excited for Christmas? Ever since my parents passed away, it's pretty much meant nothing to me. We keep our eyes on the subtle changes in the weather reports as we make more and more Teru sunshine amulets each day. And then one day, a gentle winter rain washed in, with gloomy clouds overhead to reflect the gloom and doom of our tests. Perfect, right? Perfect. Let out all the rain, let it all go. Whoa! But in the end, our second semester ended in beautiful sunshine. All the Teru sunshine thingy worked. Look at that. Perfect. This is perfect weather. Are you ready? I'm gonna let go.
Dozo.
After I let go of the frame, it stood firm without any support. Oh yeah, look at that thing. It looks weird, right? It looks like just a bunch of different pieces just stuck together, which is pretty much what it is, but it works. It's our telescope. The skeletal frame of our lens tube stood out under the open skies. Our Dobsonian was finally complete. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it, Corona? Everyone looked on proudly, taking in the fruits of our labor. We all came straight here after our closing ceremonies to get things ready for the event. No one had wanted to miss this, so everyone had showed up, even the members that lived far away. Set up here on the mountain slope, right under the clear skies, the Dobsonian was quite a sight to behold, with only a frame for the body, and every single part, right down to the lenses, was made of refurbished materials. Our telescope really looked like the king of all junk. But despite that, it seemed to stand there in solitude, sights set on the heavens, and gave off this air of supported greatness. Just what would the vast expanse of space look like to this thing? Or was this mindset just the emotional outcome of completing such a large project? Can you handle it alone? Keisuke, members of the Moromisawa club, and I all worked on testing the mobility, or the frame's mobility. Since we were unable to set the frame on a tripod, it was set directly on the ground. And while it was hard enough to support a giant Dobsonian, it also had to work as an altazimuth and rotate on 2 axes. Smooth movement and moderate resistance was necessary if you wanted to find and track celestial bodies. Seems pretty good to me. What do you think? Good enough, I guess, right? Oh, this was Keisuke's handiwork. Maybe there was some tech school pride on the line here or something. To me, the frame seemed better than anything I could have imagined. Corona whispers to herself as she watched it move east to west, up and down. A giant cannon. It was definitely something that could move anyone's boyish heart. It brought back memories of the first time I saw one, and how badly I wanted to build it. Dobi-chan? Hikari definitely seemed proud of her idea, but after looking at everyone's faces, I think she was the only one. I don't know, for some reason, I love giving things that are cute or seem cute. I love giving them cute nicknames, okay? But I don't know, just telescope, I just can't see it. I just can't see a cute nickname fitting a telescope. I'm sorry. It's not gonna work. A nickname is fine, but not like Dobi-chan or whatever the fuck. It wasn't. Let's be honest, it wasn't. 6 Madam 6. That sounds very elegant, right? I guess it looks huge, right? So Madam doesn't really work. I guess she got a point there. Starzilla? We kind of wanted to have a name with a big impact, right? Impacto. What is it, Orihime? Orihime said right over Noriko. Pleiades 1. Pleiades. She said this while winking at Corona. Corona couldn't help but smile brightly back at her. Alright, I can live with that. That's a good name. I like it. Hey, maybe future generations of the 6 Stars Club will make another telescope themselves. The name Pleiades included not only the 6 schools that were part of our group, but also our special member Corona, and that's why she loves it. She can't stand being excluded, right? She always wants to be part of it, of everything that we do. It would also make a great story for future members. It was the start of a new age for the 6 Stars Club. With that, we went back to adjusting the optical axis. With the centering eyepiece, we worked to align the optical axis of the primary lens and secondary lens. If we didn't get this lined up, the image will be distorted, or even worse, we might not be able to see anything at all. This was one of the most important steps in setting up a reflecting telescope. Noriko said, looking up at the skies. While she watched us work, it was starting to get a little cloudy. The forecast said it'll get cloudy this afternoon, but should clear up tonight. Likelihood of rain was supposed to be 0% straight through tomorrow afternoon. True. That was true. Normal clear skies and the sort of clear skies you need for astronomy are quite different. Even when the skies look clear, haze and fluctuating conditions can really distort the lights. In the meantime, we managed to get the optical axis lined up. But that wasn't the last of our work. We had other stuff to get ready aside from the Dobsonian itself. Like the tents for one. We set up mine, and the ones the members from Nishi High borrowed from the camping club at their school. Then we set up a folding table, also borrowed, so that we'd have a place to sit and eat at. Alright, we can pull out some sheets if need be, but for now, I'd say we're good. Honokai used a tablet to check through our list. The iPad. Group picture? Alright, Corona. Ah, no, don't do that to her. I feel her pain. I understand her pain, okay? Because I'm not that tiny. I'm not small by probably most countries' standards, I think. I'm like 5'8", I think, or 5'7". 5'7" or 5'8". I've never done the clear conversions from centimeters or meters to inches, but I'm pretty sure I'm close to 5'7", 5'8", which isn't that small, right? But the Netherlands, I think on average has a pretty high, like the people are fucking tall here is what I'm trying to say, okay? And always in school I was generally one of the smaller people, and whenever it was class pictures or any other pictures, to make it look better, right, I always just had to go down in front and I just kneel at the front or just stand in front of the taller people. Yeah, that kind of sucks, so I feel your pain, Corona. Aww.
姫さん真ん中来ないよ。いえ、私は結局大した役にも立てず、皆さんにほとんどの役目を押し付けてしまったのに。
But you're the leader. You're the leader, Orihime. The leader isn't supposed to work hard. She's supposed to delegate all the work. She's supposed to tell all the other people what to do and to do the work. That's not true. And she worked very hard on sanding down the evil one's eye thingy with me together, right? Yep. Our leader. She eagerly took a spot right in the middle of everyone. The members of the Six Stars Club lined up in front of our Dobsonian. Naroi ran over to join us as she set the camera on a tripod and pressed the shutter button. Not yet, I think. Cheese, smile. What are we doing? Are we throwing up a peace sign? Is she nervous? Is she not? No, that's not true. I wanted to say, is she not good with pictures or something? Some people just can't. I don't know, just don't like being on pictures. But remember, Orihime took a fucking selfie. She took a selfie when she was eating ramen for the first time. So she clearly isn't uncomfortable with pictures. What is it? What's wrong? She winked! Wait, where am I? Where was I in the picture? I only saw Keisuke as the only dude. I mean, it kind of looked like she winked, so maybe it kind of looks cool. Yeah, okay, that was kind of bad timing. Orihime cried out in vain as Naroi laughed while checking the screen one last time before putting the camera away. I was curious as to what kind of face Orihime was making during the photo. Oh, you'll see it up on the blog. Once the picture was finished, Honoka went over tonight's program. This was going to be a public event, so there was a ton of stuff we had to keep in mind. Orihime stepped forward, as if she had been awaiting this very moment. The look on everyone's face said that there would be a long speech ahead. Good job, everybody. Pat yourself on the back. Applause for all of us. We never would have come together if it wasn't for Orihime. The clubs at all our schools had been out of touch, but she had got us connected again. She had worked hard for our group. However, she just shook her head. Aww. We all did it together, okay? Still, you get most of the credit, Orihime. Whether you like it or not, you're getting it. That's true, right? For someone who didn't want to be a part of this at all, we contributed kind of a lot. I really didn't do anything. I hadn't been expecting to get called out like that. I don't know. Like, we may not have to... I don't know. We did a lot. We came up with a lot of good ideas in the beginning, right? As well as we kind of worked hard on the at least the lens part itself together with Orihime. I think you're being a bit too generous. We all laughed awkwardly at her sudden praise. Destiny? Hikari's expression changed as she quickly looked up and realized what Orihime meant. Orihime knew that Hikari was leaving.
私も嬉しいです。今この時、むつら星の会っていう私の居場所が
I mean, we told her,
ここ
right?
にあってくれたことが
We told Orihime, but yeah. That's kind of why we tried to finish this ASAP as well, to have it done before Hikari would leave. So, in some sense, this kind of feels like maybe some sort of goodbye event? But is Hikari leaving that soon already?
ここにいるみんなと星を見ら
I
れる
forgot the exact date she was leaving, but I think it was sometime during the winter break, or at the end of it perhaps. So yeah, it actually is very soon. Everyone looked pleased, or even bashful at Hikari's words. Though our club was once close to being disbanded, our Dobsonian project had finally brought us all together as the new Six Stars Club. Hikari looked around at everyone, growing bashful herself, and pat Saya on the shoulder.
ありがとね。戻ってきてくれて。光こそ。
And then she looked at me.
一緒に見ようね。あの望遠鏡でさ、星を。途中だった私たちの銀河旅行の続きしよう。
Yeah. We should make it farther out there than ever before, this time, with the help of our new Pleiades one.
それでは一度解散いたしましょうか。観測会の開始時間まで自由行動ということで。
Those words are all it took to loosen up the tension building in the air.
よし、オリオン座バックに整形写真撮るぞ。今のうちにロケハンやるよ。1年たちついといて。
Wait, am I a first year?
待ってくださいよ部長。
Oh, from her club.
この場所からどんな風に星座が見えるか。そうっすね部長。楽しみっす。
Damn, look at that. Everybody's taking like charge of their club. They're like, alright guys, let's go do some shit together as our own club. And then me, I'm like, hey, club. But wait, I'm on my own. Fuck, nobody. Okay, well, never mind. Everyone was heading off with club members from their schools. Oh, this feels so sad. Well, I've got work until tonight. What is everyone else up to?
私はね、サヤン家に遊びに行く。夕飯もお呼ばれするんだ。
Ooh.
光が来るって言ったら、お母さんおでん炊いてくれたよ。
Odin.
マジで？やったー！サヤン家のおでん。
Ah, can I eat there too? I'll skip work if I have to. I don't care. God damn it. I was so jealous I couldn't even begin to hide it.
アキト君の分も後で持ってくね。光が全部食べちゃわなかったら。
Hikari, don't eat it all. Saya, you're the fucking best. Don't you dare eat it all, Hikari. You hear me? Leave some over for me.
おってう、おってう。
Please, leave some for me. It didn't look like I would have a chance.